Hello everyone, magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Let us discuss past 41 on agriculture on this video lecture. So in the books, this is normally, sometimes, or usually presented as a chapter titled Biological Assets. Because under agriculture, we are talking about biological assets. Okay, now, ano-ano po ba ang mga pag-aaralan natin under PAS 41 on agriculture? So ito po ang scope and limitation ng ating standard. Number 1, sa paragraph 1 ng standard, this standard shall be applied to account for the following when they relate to agricultural activity. Yung ating mga biological assets, maliban na lamang po sa mga bearer plants. We will elaborate on this later on. Your agricultural produce at the point of harvest and government grants covered by paragraphs 34 to 35, as we will later on uncover. Ito naman po ang ating restrictions, no? Yung limitations. Hindi po saklaw ng standard na ito ang mga sumusunod. Yung mga lupain related to agricultural activity, because this falls under PAS 16 on property, plant, and equipment, o kaya naman PAS 40 if the land is classified as an investment property. Bearer plants related to agricultural activity, kaya nga dito sa paragraph 1 meron tayong exception because bearer plant is classified under PAS 16. Pero ang standard po na ito applies to the produce on those bearer plants. Sabi ko nga, we will elaborate on the bearer plants momentarily. Maya-maya po. Hindi rin saklaw nito yung mga government grants related to bearer plants na under the scope of PAS 20 accounting for government grants, which I already have a separate video lecture. You can check on that discussion. Intangible assets related to agricultural activities, because intangible asset is covered by another standard, PAS 38, and yung mga right of use assets arising from a lease of land related to agricultural activity, this falls under IFRS 16 on the standard covering leases. So ito po yung ating mga exclusion because they are covered by another standard. Now, please take note that this standard is applied to agricultural produce as what have been mentioned here sa B. Natakpan lamang po nito. Now, anong sabi dito? Applied daw yung standard na ito sa agricultural produce. At ano po yung agricultural produce? Ito yung mga inaning produkto. Harvested produce. Okay, yung mga inani na binunga ng mga biological assets na yon at the point of harvest. So, agricultural produce is the harvested produce of the entity's biological assets at the point of harvest. Kasi nga, aanihin po natin. Thereafter, after the point of harvest, we will apply PAS 2 on inventories or another applicable standard. Accordingly, etong standard na ito does not deal with the processing of agricultural produce after harvest. Kasi may mga produkto ng agrikultura na pagkaani mo, kailangan mong iproseso. Halimbawa, sa example na binigay ng ating standard, yung pagpoproseso daw ng ubas papuntang alak. Okay? While such processing may be a logical and natural extension of agricultural activity, and the events taking place may bear some similarity to biological transformation, etong proseso po na ito ay hindi kasama sa definition ng agricultural activity na saklaw ng standard na ito. So, generally, ang ating standard on PAS 41 does not deal with the processing of agricultural produce after harvest. Okay. Now, let us define some of the terms that we will see in this paragraph 1. Let us focus on the agricultural activity. Pag sinabi po natin na agricultural activity, this is the management. Okay, management by an entity of the biological transformation and harvest of biological assets. Okay? Management of what? Biological transformation. At dito sa baba, in-explain po natin kung ano, or ine-explain po sa atin kung anong ibig sabihin ng biological transformation. At sa susunod na slide, yung harvest naman. Ano? Okay? So, biological transformation and harvest of biological assets for sale or for conversion into agricultural produce or into additional biological assets. Class, pag sinabi po natin biological transformation, ito po ay binubuo ng mga proseso ng growth, okay, degeneration, production, and procreation that cause qualitative or quantitative changes in the biological asset. So hindi lamang po quantitative yung changes dito, kung hindi qualitative din. Dinefine din po sa atin kung ano yung growth, procreation, and degeneration. So makikita nyo po dito sa baba. Although siguro naman, itong mga terms na ito ay hindi na po sa atin bago. So at least we have an idea kahit na hindi po natin ito i-define. Okay? Siguro kung meron man, kung sakali man na hindi masyadong familiar yung degeneration. Pero nandirito naman. No. If growth is the increase in quantity or improvement in quality, ang degeneration naman ay yung kabaligtaran. Another word is your deterioration. Okay? So, yan po ang emphasis natin sa agricultural activity and particularly dito sa biological transformation. Ngayon naman, focus naman tayo sa kumukompleto sa paragraph na ito. Harvest is the detachment of produce from a biological asset or, take note o kaya naman yung pagtigil ng buhay ng biological asset. Okay, the cessation of a biological asset's life processes. Sir, ano po ba yung biological asset? Yung biological asset ay isang buhay na animal, buhay na hayop, or buhay na halaman. Okay? Sasabihin mo sa kaklase mo na kinaiinisan mo, biological asset ka. Minumura mo na pala siya. Agricultural produce is the harvested produce. Ito na, ipaliwanag naman po natin kanina, di ba? Okay, so please be familiar with the terminologies that we are being encountered. Okay, with these discussions. Now, focus tayo dito, class, sa biological asset. Pag biological asset, ang salitang ugat kasi ng biological ay bio. At pag sinabi nating bio, buhay. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang mga patay na mga hayop, patay na mga halaman, at mga ibang bagay na hindi nabubuhay, ay hindi po natin kinoconsider as a biological asset. Kasi from the very definition in our standard, a biological asset is a living animal or plant. So kailangan buhay. So kung patay, hindi na po siya biological asset. Or kung hindi siya living, non-living siya, edi hindi rin siya biological asset. Okay? Now, take note of the following. Paragraph 44 of your accounting standard, and as I picked this up from the book of Sus Milan, accordingly, ang biological assets daw natin can be categorized into consumable o kaya naman bearer. Pag consumable biological assets, those that are to be harvested, yung mga aanihin as agricultural produce or ibebenta as biological asset. Ano-ano yung mga halimbawa nito? Yung mga livestock, mga poultry, di ba? mga manok, manukan, intended for the production of meat, o kaya naman livestock held for sale. So they are considered as consumable biological asset. Yung mga isda, pero yung isda na hindi sa dagat, kung hindi nasa farm. Ano na nga yung Tagalog ng farm? Nakalimutan ko na. Mga crops, okay? Kagaya ng mga mais at mga wheat. Of course, no? Siyempre, palay. Crops ba yung palay? Napapaisip tuloy ako. Yung mga bunga ng bearer plants, they are consumable. At saka yung mga puno na pinapatubo para gawing mga coco lumber, mga 2x2. Okay? Grown for lumber. On the right side, ito naman po yung kino-consider natin as bearer biological assets. So yung mga held to bear produce, yung mga pinanghahawakan po natin, inaalagaan natin ng mga biological assets para mamunga. Yung mga produce lamang po yung hina-harvest while the bearer biological asset remains kasi magagamit ulit ito, mapapakinabangan ulit ito sa mga susunod na taon or na seasons. So halimbawa, livestock from which milk is produced. So kung meron kang mga baka, at ang purpose nun ay para mag-gather ka ng gatas. Okay? So they are not consumable but they are bearer. And fruit trees from which fruit is harvested. So kung yung puno mo hindi ginagamit para sa lumber, kung hindi para mamunga yon, halimbawa ngayon, habang ginagawa ko itong video lecture na ito, season na naman ng mga rambutan at saka mga lansones. So yung mga puno na yon ay kino-consider as bearer biological asset. Okay? Ang mga buhay na mga hayop, whether consumable or bearer, ay kinaklasify natin as biological assets if they relate to agricultural activity. Pero yung mga buhay na halaman ay kinaklasify natin as biological asset kung consumable po sila. Kasi if they are bearer plants, PPE na po yan at ito po yan yung ating exception sa paragraph 1-. So pag living animals, whether consumable or bearer, treated yan as biological asset. Pero pagdating sa mga halaman, we are only talking of consumable. Pag magfo-fall siya sa past 41. Otherwise, pag bearer, past 16. Okay? Now, sinasabi natin that agricultural activity is the management of the biological transformation and harvest of biological assets for conversion, for sale or conversion into agricultural produce or into additional biological asset. Now, ang sinasabi po sa standard sa past 41 under paragraph 6 ay may mga features po tayo na common sa mga ito. Okay? Kasi class, pag pinag-uusapan natin yung mga agricultural activities, marami yan Maraming range of activities yan. Pagpapalago, pangangalaga, pagbubuhay mo ng mga manok, di ba? Okay, pagpapatubo mo ng mga puno, yung mga annual cropping, halimbawa, magtatanim ka nga ng mga, halimbawa, mga, ito? Kamoteng kahoy. And kadalasan naman ay hindi naman yan nagtatagal. Mabilis lang naman anihin yan. Pagkukultivate ng mga orchards or mga plantations. Okay? Floriculture. Halimbawa, ang business mo ay into flowers, di ba? So, yan, mga mga namumulaklak natin ng mga halaman. Okay? Including yung aquaculture, no? So, if you are farming for fish, but again, please take note that yung isda sa dagat ay hindi po kasama dito. Okay? I think we will cover this in the next, in some of the, some of the paragraphs under past 41. I'm not sure as to what specific paragraph. Pero may encounter po ninyo yon. So dito, ang kasama lamang po ay fish farming. Now, certain common features exist daw within this diversity. Tatlo yan, your capability to change, your management of change, and the measurement of change. Okay? And you will see here the definition. So, pag capability to change, yung mga buhay na hayop at saka halaman, kaya po nila ng biological, or they are capable of biological transformation, as what we have already explained in the previous slides. Now, for the management of change, at nandirito pala yung ocean fishing, okay, including also yung deforestation. Pag sinabi po natin na management of change, okay, so sinasabi dito yung pag-enhance natin or at least stabilizing conditions necessary for the process to take place. Halimbawa, sa pag-farm mo, okay? Pagkahalaman mo, pagtatanim mo ng mga gulay na ibebenta mo din, diba? You have to ensure the certain nutrient levels, yung hamog ng moisture, okay, temperature, yung init or lamig ng lupa, kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga halaman ay nabubuhay on the same environment, the fertility and the light, So, yan ay mga management of change. Such management distinguishes agricultural activity from other activities. So, dito sinasabi na sa atin na hindi po management of change yung pag-harvest natin from unmanaged sources. Yung pangingisda mo sa dagat, hindi naman po yan management of change. Yung deforestation, this is not management of change. So, they are not agricultural activities. Okay? Also, the measurement of change. Siyempre, accounting po ang pinag-uusapan natin, kailangan nating sukatin. How do we measure that change? Is it a change in the quality or a change in the quantity brought about by the biological transformation or harvest is measured and monitored as a routine management function. And siyempre, pagpasok ni accounting, we need to measure them in terms of money. Class, focus tayo dito sa biological transformation. Ang biological transformation natin ay may kinakalabasan na dalawang klase. Okay? Una, asset changes. Although yung asset changes, it can be by growth, by degeneration, or procreation. O kaya naman, yung production of agricultural produce. Okay? So, eto yung una, parang sinasabi natin na ito ay natural. Excuse me. So, these are natural changes. Ito namang production involves human intervention. Okay? You need to produce latex, tea leaf, wool, and milk. So, kailangan na intervention. Okay. So, ito lang yung gusto nating i-highlight dito sa paragraph na ito. Now, let's focus on the bearer plants. Ano-ano naman class ang bearer plants? Kasi sinasabi sa atin na hindi po sa CLAW ng PAS 41 ang bearer plants kasi nga ito po ay under PAS 16. Kagaya po ng makikita po ninyo dito, bearer plants related to agricultural activity. Now, what is a bearer plant? A bearer plant is a living animal. Kaya nga, bearer plant. Okay, kanina di ba meron tayong consumable biological asset and bearer biological asset. So, yung consumable, PAS 41, yung bearer plant ay PAS 16. So, a bearer plant is a living plant, buhay na halaman, na ginagamit sa production or supply of agricultural produce, is expected to bear produce for more than one period. So, mapapakinabangan mo siya for more than one period and has a remote likelihood of being sold as agricultural produce, maliban na lamang for incidental scrap sales. Okay. Now, ang mga sumusunod ay hindi po bearer plants. Take note ha, not bearer plants. Yung mga halaman na kinocultivate, no, para anihin as agricultural produce. So yung example natin kanina, trees grown for use as lumber. Hindi po yan bearer plant. Plants cultivated to produce agricultural produce when there is more than, more than a remote likelihood that the entity will also harvest and sell the plant as agricultural produce. Kasi, take note, dito sinasabi, there should be a remote likelihood. Now, if there is more than a remote likelihood, hindi na po yan bearer plant. Kasama rin po dito yung mga annual crops. Okay? Yung mga recurring, repetitive, no, na mga tanim. Palay. No? When bearer plants are no longer used to bear produce, they might be cut down and sold as scrap. Halimbawa, yung mga kahoy, gagamitin sila para gawing uling. No, pero dahil may nabebenta ka, hindi ibig sabihin na meron kang incidental sales, no, from the scrap. Hindi mo na siya i-classify as bearer plant. Bearer plant pa rin yun. Whether papakinabangan mo meron kang incidental sales dyan or wala. Okay? 5C ang sabi sa atin, yung mga bunga doon sa mga bearer plant is a biological asset and this is under PAS 41. Okay? So, yan po hinighlight lang natin. Ayon sa PAS 41, ito po yung mga example for comparison which is which. Is this a biological asset, an agricultural produce, or a product that is a result of processing after harvest? Sheep is a biological asset. Yung wool is an agricultural produce. Inaahit, di ba, yung parang mga buhok-buhok nito? Kung parang yun yung best explanation ko dun eh. Ano yung produkto ng mga wool? Yung yarn, yung carpet. Okay? Trees in a timber plantation, mga puno. Okay? Yun yung biological asset. Okay? Felled trees, yun yung ating agricultural produce. Logs, lumber, yun yung ating product na resulting after the harvest. Class, please take note ha, medyo nakakalito yung living plants. Bearer ba yan or hindi? Babalikan natin yung ating exception doon ha. Kasi, asa na nga ba yun? Babalikan lang natin biological asset yung trees being grown for lumber. Pero yung gagamitin mo ng paulit-ulit, halimbawa manggahan, yan po ay bearer plant. Okay? So, take note of that one. Dairy cattle, mga baka mo, okay? Biological asset. Ang agricultural produce ay gatas, cheese yung produkto. Mga baboy, okay? Carcass is the agricultural produce. Sausage, cured ham, yun yung ating produkto. Cotton plants, harvested cotton is the agricultural produce. Thread clothing is the product or are the products. Okay? Sugar cane, tubo. Pag hinarvest mo na yan, yan yung agricultural produce. Consumable biological assets ha. Sugar, asukal, yung ating produkto. Tanim na tobacco. Okay? Ipipik mo yung leaves. So I remember, may kliyente akong ganito dati during my audit years, no? Pure tobacco, yun yung produkto. Okay? Additionally, yung mga tea bushes is the biological asset, consumable. Pag pinik mo na, pinitas mo na yung mga halaman, yun yung agricultural produce, and yung product ay mga tsaa. Grapevines, biological asset. Picked grapes, napitas na, agricultural produce. Alak, yung ating product. Fruit trees, biological asset. Picked fruits, okay? Yun yung ating agricultural produce. Processed fruit, yun yung ating product. Okay? Oil palms, yung biological asset. Parang nawala yung aking energy, nalobat. Picked fruit, yun yung ating, take note, picked. Parang palagi, ito yung common sa kanila. No? Palm oil yung produkto. Rubber trees is the biological asset. The agricultural produce is the latex, and the rubber product is your product, resulting after the process. Okay? Or the result of processing after harvest. Now, some plants, for example, itong mga tea bushes, grapevines, oil palms, rubber trees, usually meet the definition of a bearer plant and are within the scope of AYA 16. Ganun pa man, yung produce growing on bearer plant, halimbawa tea leaves, grapes, oil palms, fruits, and latex, is within the scope of PAS 41. So dito mapapansin po ninyo etong tea bushes, grapevines, oil palms, at saka rubber trees, no? Kahit ito siguro. Okay? Kadalasan nagiging nagfo-fall siya sa definition ng PAS 16 and therefore we should classify it as a bearer plant, no, rather than a biological asset under PAS 40. Okay? Pero yung produkto natin doon, yung mga pinipitas-pitas natin diyan ay within the scope of PAS 41. Okay? So, on a summary, according to Milan, ang buhay na halaman, buhay na hayop, ulitin natin, yung buhay na hayop is a biological asset. Okay? Yung buhay na halaman is a biological asset except for bearer plants. Consumable, yes. Okay? Yung mga unprocessed harvested produce, agricultural produce siya under PAS 41, pero yung mga naproseso na ay under PAS 2 on inventories. Okay? So, eto muna siguro for this video lecture para at least meron tayong pause. Hindi siya nakakaumay. So, pag-uusapan natin sa susunod na video lecture yung recognition and measurement. Kasama na po yung mga related combinations. Okay, so dito muna, tatapusin muna natin ito para maiksi-iksi. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'd be happy to accommodate your questions. So, thank you. I'll see you on my next recording. Bye-bye.